Wonderful. Where am I? Cartier booth, Watches and Wonder, Geneva, Switzerland, April 1st. This is ground zero for the watch industry around the world. I always start at Cartier. Why? They have the most square footage. That tells you a lot about the brand. They've been making watches since 1853. They have exploded on the scene in the last 25 years with some of the most eclectic designs, not just for men, but also for women. So let's check it out today. Let's see what they've got. I'm just licking my chops and I'm wearing some crazy pieces. Now, in keeping in line with Cartier's heritage, the iconic brand, they're showcasing here at Watches and Wonders some of the pieces from the past. This is like a Fabergé egg. This is from 1907. Look how beautiful that is. I mean, it's a desk clock, if you can believe it or not. Love it. 1913. We're talking First World War here. Free. That's crazy. Back then, there weren't a whole lot of wristwatches, so people made clocks. Here is 1921 Cartier. You can start to see the Cartier branding in this, that kind of Tank Santos vibe that's going on here. Now, this is completely Art Deco to me. This is 1943, Second World War, just about to end. Beautiful. Mystery clock. I mean, it's got a whole vibe to it. To me, starting to emerge with an Art Deco look. Now this is absolute art. High jewelry, my goodness, pink gold, just beautiful. Now look at this, this is completely nuts. This is a magnetic clock. It's got a balloon floating in a liquid. I mean, that's kind of crazy. White gold, 750 of 1,000 set, beautiful. Mechanical movement with manual winding, all Cartier. Okay, I'm inside the Cartier booth now, and I've got all brand new pieces being introduced to the world. Now you gotta remember something about Cartier. They've been doing this a really long time and they're world-class jewelers. So when you think about some of their pieces, you're combining the art of jewelry making, of fine jewelry making, with actually watchmaking, which is what's made their brand so incredible since 1853. I mean, it's one thing to just buy jewelry, but when you get watch collectors desiring to get into these calibers, that takes the brand to a whole new level. So I just wanted to show you something absolutely crazy. The Cartier Panther has a long history with me. My very first watch on my very first deal was a Cartier. I still have it. I mean, it's an emotional piece for me. That's the thing about buying watches. They mark those moments in your life. But this is a Panther to a whole new level. This is a crazy chicken watch. Just look at that. That's insane. It takes hundreds of hours for jewelers to do this because you're taking an iconic brand, a caliber. These watches are quartz because they should be. I mean, that's the original piece you want to keep with how this was made decades ago, but they keep fantastic time. Now, is that a man's or a woman's watch? Here's my answer, both. I'd happily wear this. So would a woman. There could be a cat fight in the household with this piece. But it's the band, it's the brand, it's the look. You can see that is a Cartier from 20 yards away. This thing is blinged out. You need sunglasses when you wear it. It's fantastic, but it's beautiful. And I bet you it's going to be one of the hottest pieces of the show this year. I mean, it's got to leave the room right now. There's so many people outside that want to see this thing. But it's hard to find, you know, I talk about dials all the time. This is so unique. You will not find another dial like this anywhere. That's the whole point. If you're going to step up and buy a piece like this is well over 100,000 euros world pricing. You want it to be something that's going to be in your family long after you're gone. And that's what you get with Cartier. They support their pieces beyond just a single generation. You're buying art. That's what that is. You know, I'm loving this thing. This is crazy. And that's just one of the pieces we're going to look at. I mean, it's stunning, absolutely stunning. Love it. All right, let's move on. And when Cartier designs these Panthers, they study the animal, they study the skeleton, they study the muscles. And so what you're seeing here is an interpretation of a live Panther done with jewelry, and it looks remarkably real. This looks like a live Panther jumping, and you can see the muscles around its upper arms made out of beautiful pave diamonds. I mean, this is crazy art, but it is a watch. There it is. I mean, talk about a conversation piece. Now, it's not inexpensive, but this is for multi-generational investing, because these pieces generally do not lose value over time. They're collectible art. That's the thing about buying a brand like Cartier. Yes, you're paying, but you're getting something that's really stood the test of time. That's what matters. This is a crazy piece. Now, also crazy, on the bit parade of crazy, look at this. These come with multiple bands, actually, which is so interesting, new this year. This is called the tressage. Now, it comes with multiple bands, very popular in terms of that Cartier look. But again, you're doing the design of the jewelry in addition to a quartz piece, which, you know, for women's watches are very convenient. But this is absolutely beautiful. Another iteration of this, a little bit more dramatic, I think is the word to use. Look at this thing. Stop the madness. I mean, you're going to walk in a room with this on, grown men are going to weep. Again, it's how much craftsmanship goes into designing this. Can you imagine how many hours of work to make this? That's what I love about Cartier. You're really, I mean, we're going to look at a lot of watches this week, but these dials are unique because they're really a combination of jewelry and art and science, but uniquely to this brand, Cartier. Now, let me show you something very, very interesting. This is the diamond cocktail. Think tennis bracelet with a tiny dial, a watch, a quartz watch. How beautiful is that? Look at the art of how that band is actually made. Beautifully set diamonds. Gorgeous. World's seeing it for the first time here, as you are. I think these are going to be very popular. They're not crazy expensive. You're getting a lot of value. You know, the thing about diamonds, when you buy diamonds, is people say, well, I'm just going to weigh the carats. The problem is it doesn't work when you're dealing with a brand like Cartier, because you're going to pay for the design, you're going to pay for the brand, you're going to pay for the service in perpetuity. I mean, I've had watches for 50 years from Cartier that still get serviced by Cartier. So that's what you're getting in a brand like this. It's not the same as independent watchmaking, but this is high jewelry and watches. Beautiful. One more look at this series of the diamond cocktail. Check this out. You want a little color? Again, it's you know, women are going to love that. Which reminds me, time for a sip of the O'Leary Chardonnay. Watches and wine go so well together. Oh, that's nectar. You know, these really fine pieces make me thirsty for a good wine. It just happens. What can you say? So that's a little flavor of the women's watches here at Cartier. However, some of these pieces, and you may be surprised, but I'm going to tell you something. There are men wearing this. It's such a statement piece. And that's what's happening out there. Guys are getting into this. They're walking in a room with a black suit on and this on their wrist. I mean, you're saying a lot when you do that. That's haute couture right there. Love it. You know, it's not just for the red carpet. It's for any carpet. I wonder if they'd let me wear this on Shark Tank. I mean, that would be such a statement. Okay, now for the really exciting part of Cartier, the men's watches. I always save the best for the last. The new releases of Cartier's men's watches. There are some crazy pieces here. So let me start you with something that you probably have never seen before. It's a reissue from the 1920s. This is very, very popular amongst companies that have that kind of heritage now, to go back in time and bring something forward. New technology, obviously, in the movements, but the classic look. Now, this you either love or you hate, and I love dials that are very controversial. This is top of the list of controversy this year at Watches and Wonder. Crazy piece. That's what it was in the 20s. It's very stark, very unusual, kind of like a winking face, the hour on top, the minute in the bottom. It's an original tank, Cartier tank. This is platinum. They also have gold. There's also a limited series of only 200. Remember, we talked about dials. You've got watches. What you're looking for at some point, I've certainly reached that point, is what's completely different, completely crazy different, that's so unique, there's no other dial like it. Well, this is it. That's crazy. So obviously, and this is the first time I've seen it, this is top of my list to add to the collection, because there's not another watch like this in the show, I guarantee you. People are going to look at it and saying, what the hell is that? You're going to say it's a Cartier. I love it because it's controversial, but I've spent enough time on it that I'm really getting into it. It's so sick. All right, well, let's go from that to a Santos, an automatic Santos. Now look, Cartier's in the sweet spot right now. Why? Because men are going blinged out all around the world. They're going crazy bling. I don't care if you're in LA, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, London, Zurich, Geneva. You want a hot piece? This thing is a huge statement when you walk in a room. It's totally blinged out, but it's actually quite a fine timepiece. It's beautifully designed, the classic Cartier Santos look, but with a little pizzazz. Now you can wear this with jeans, you can wear this with a tuxedo. Of course, you have to put a red band on it. I would, but it's beautiful. I mean, it's just a classic, beautiful Santos, and automatic, by the way. So this is not a quartz watch. I like it because it keeps the classic look that Cartier is known for in the Santos, which is a very, very, very successful timepiece. These were the guys that first got into rectangular and square dials way back. They were the first. And this carries forward that heritage. It's fantastic. Now, let's go to a new piece, a tank. Remember the classic square look Cartier brought out over 100 years ago that still, they are the first to design watches like this. But this is going to this modern groove. People are really into skeleton, open face. It's kind of like an Art Deco vibe to it. You see that? I think this watch will be very popular. Gold's back big. Obviously, Cartier knows what to do with gold. But it's got the classic look, and it's open face. I mean, beautiful tank. What can you say? Manual wind, but nice. All right, now you want to bling it out a little bit more? Here we go. Okay, now here's a Santos watch that's absolutely crazy. Airplane that's moving inside the dial is a model of what Santos actually flew. He was a pilot, but it's also an oscillator. So it's giving you some really interesting complications on the dial. Skeleton dial, blinged out in the classic jewelry look that Cartier is so good at. I also think this will be popular because it's a crazy dial. I mean, you know, if you really want statement pieces, this captures the elegance of Cartier, the jewelry of Cartier. It's blinged out, which is so smoking hot for men right now, and of a really beautiful design. But this added complication, there is no watch that has that in it. It's an airplane. It's basically floating around in there. This is white gold. It's got that soft look to it. Very nice. All right, now something completely nuts. This is probably a level up in watchmaking because it's almost like painted art. This piece is called métier d'art because it really is a piece of art. There is a beautiful Panther that is actually created first, and then gold is layered over it. Some of these gold elements are as thin as a human hair. So you get this 3D effect on the dial where the Panther is embedded behind the gold, but you can see the full Panther emerging from the gold forest, if you want to call it that. So you're really talking about art here. But again, the craftsmanship of what Cartier can do gets you a piece like this. Now, I'm going to speculate right now this will be popular with women too, because it's not so big that a woman can't wear it. Although it's supposedly a men's watch, women are going to see this and go nuts for it. It's absolutely stunning. You know, if I had to rate them, which is so hard to do, let's just look at how I would do that here. And you may disagree, but I love it when we've got 5 to choose from. Are you ready? I'm going to tell you the order by which I would rank them. Here we go. Number 1, the crazy piece, the remake from the 20s. I love this because it's so crazy and nothing like it in the show. Nothing. Now, number 2 is tough because I've kind of fallen in love right here. This dial is nuts and it gives me a little bling action. So it's number 2 on the hit parade right there. 1, 2. Now it gets very tough for 3. I'm thinking about if I'm adding to my collection. How would I add? I got to have that. Love this statement piece. All right. But, you know, okay, number 3 is right here. It's too crazy. I mean, just think about the statement you make walking in a room with that. Absolutely beautiful. Number 3. Now, you may be surprised that that's number 4 for me because that's what it is. But I have many watches, not with that dial, but have that similar look. So I'm looking for piece uniques for me. So it's only the preference of how it fits in the collection. And then of course, I love this a lot. I don't know, I mean, I could easily make that number 4, but that's the ranking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You decide what you like, but that's the ranking for me. This is a crazy piece. I know half of you hate it. I don't care. It's a conversation piece. Now let's get out on the Cartier floor and see what's going on outside. I just reviewed the entire collection for this year at Watches and Wonder, brand new men's watches, and I fell in love with a very controversial piece. I mean, it's crazy, and I love it because I have nothing like it. I'm always looking for something unique in the collection. It has to be so different that not a single watch in the collection looks like it. And that's what I have here in this incredible tank. Is a platinum piece. It's a remake from a design from the 20s. You may hate it, and I hope you do, because I want the controversy. I want this dial to start a conversation. They're only going to make 200 of these. I'm going to put my request in because I think this would be so fantastic in the collection. The crown has been moved to the top of the dial, so you barely even see it. So you get that clean look now. It's completely different than how they were originally made. So I like that a lot. Love it. So, mission accomplished. First day at Watches and Wonder. Have selected the new piece for the collection.